Okay, I have returned. I had to take a break from filming for a minute to go play with the cockroaches. They were over there, eating the dog food. Because I'm filming on top of the cooler, the cooler lid that came off of the dog food thing. And I got my phone propped up on it, leaning up against my, my GPD Win case. That's my, Excelente setup. It's better than last night. Last night I had 3 game cases stacked on top of a top hat that I had lying around that I haven't used in forever. And I just set everything on top of everything and it looked like shit. But, yeah, I want to talk about why NASA, in my opinion, why I think NASA won't release anything to the public about, regarding the alien phenomena. And that is because it would cause world chaos. I mean, I've watched Secure Team 10 forever, Third Phase of Moon, all these people, and they seem to think that if they can disclose everything because they won't do it because they just think we're stupid. That no, nothing would ever happen. There would be no chaos breaking out. Everybody pretty much believes in aliens right now. They'd be wrong. As an ex-Christian. I haven't been a Christian for about 3 years now, thank fuck. Thank you, Tara Warwick, for the occult series on YouTube. Got me into reading some of those old texts and stuff, and then I got some of them. And then I started reading a lot of the Old Testament, and I was like, oh, this is fucked up. Yeah. Nah, ain't happening. And I left the whole faith entirely, and now I just kind of do my own damn thing. But, like as you saw with the Void video, but I think that they won't disclose anything because they are afraid of religious people freaking out. Like in the Bible, as I said, you take it from an ex-Christian. There's all these texts that were removed from the Bible, right? That discuss the Nephilim. It talks about them in the Bible too. The Nephilim, the fallen angels, also known as the Watchers, being able to shapeshift their bodies into various different forms and weird shit like that. And a lot of Christians actually, this is going to be far out sounding to you, but a lot of Christians actually believe that that the Watchers have returned to Earth, right? And these UFOs that people are seeing are actually just fallen angels shapeshifting into these disc shapes. And that couldn't be any further from the truth that they believe this. And they also believe that these Nephilim are the ones behind it. Like these Nephilim beings, which could range from the giants to the gray aliens, they believe, are the ones operating these UFOs. And they believe that this UFO and alien stuff is a cover-up for the is actually just a big cover-up. And the truth behind it is the Antichrist is getting ready to return with his army of Watchers to take over the world, which is fucking stupid. We've been seeing UFOs since the 1600s. You think if Lucifer was going to invade with his holy army, he'd go ahead and do it by now. Uh-oh. Cockroaches getting ready to jump back in there. Oh shit, there's 2 of them. Hold on, I'll be right back. Let me blow these guys away. Hey, you bitch! You guys can't be in there. Right. No way. Sorry I was gone for so long. I know you missed me, but like I was saying, if you revealed the truth, like if NASA came out and revealed the truth about all of this, they would just be called liars by all these nuts. If NASA came out tomorrow and they said, okay guys, the alien phenomenon is real. Solar Warden and all of it in its entirety is real. They've been sitting in our orbit for thousands of years. The Black Knight satellite's been recording our data for thousands of years. It's not Nephilim beings, it's actual creatures out there in other solar systems that have come to visit us and see what we're all about. And do trade with us and do all this other stuff with us. If they really came out and told the truth, these people would be rioting in the streets. I mean, because the fanatical Christians would probably go on like a fucking crusade or something. They'd probably go insane and say we have to we have to overthrow the government because the government, NASA's a government funded thing. They'd say, oh well, the government's trying to our government, to be specific, is trying to initiate the return of the Antichrist, and they'd say, well, we can't have all this, and they go like insane and start having this big riots in the streets. You'd see society in some parts of the country break down. Like the more secular parts of the country, say like up north and northern major cities and stuff like Atlanta, Seattle, New York, places like that would be fine. But like where I live, Milledgeville, Georgia, would be fucking flames. The majority of the people here are religious nuts. Homophobes out the ass. I don't mean homophobe in the far left modern day sense, as in, oh, if you say if you don't have a lot of gay friends, then you're a homophobe or something like that. No, I just mean like they think that they are literally homophobes. Like these people, they think that gay people are a scourge on the earth and need to be either exiled into oblivion. They need to be. They don't believe in killing us, should I say? They don't believe in doing that, but they do believe in a sort of. They believe that you should be ignored. You should have no attention shown to you if you're gay. They believe that you don't deserve any kind of good treatment. You just need to be shit on and sit in the back of the bus, pretty much. And I've literally talked to some people that believe we should be exiled off into the plains of fucking hinterlands or something. We should just be hiked off into the woods left to die. I mean, the people are that disgusting around here. Not like right in the heart of Milledgeville. That's more off of Wilkinson County, like really, really rural. Not a town for 50 miles territory. It's out where my grandpa lives. Actually, my grandpa's a very nice guy. He never fell into any of that stuff, and he's not even very religious, so he's a really cool dude. And, but he lives around some fucknuts. Like, the people that live around him are just totally psyched out. But, yeah, I mean, whatever. But it's not a very, loving environment for anyone that's, not religious around here. It's not a stereotypical Christian and has stereotypical gender roles. If you don't fall into those categories, you're seen as a scourge in society in these parts, for the most part. Not so much right here where I am at in downtown Milledgeville and on the outskirts of downtown Milledgeville. It's once you get like into Eatonton and the far out there, you get out past Milledgeville and you go out in the Wilkinson County or you go out to Twiggs County. Areas like that are totally fucked up. Bad. And can you imagine NASA coming out and saying, hey, the aliens are real and all this stuff is real and you guys were idiots all along? Can you imagine the fucking hellstorm of rednecks coming up the road of marching on Washington? It would be a massacre. It'd be like horrible. That's probably why they don't come out and say anything about it. And it wouldn't just affect life here. Other countries have their zealots too, mind you. Can you imagine the Middle East, the breakdown over there? ISIS the damn ISIS, you'd have like 30 bajillion more terrorist groups that would probably rise up and start trying to suppress people even further. Hell, they'd probably start forcefully coming over here anyway. Like, you'd see people hijacking airplanes and flying them over here like terrorists, blowing up buildings. You'd see all kinds of horrible stuff. You'd have like 9/11, but every day of the year. Everywhere in the world where there is religious zealots. I mean, it'd be bad trouble. And I don't think we're ready for it yet. I don't think a lot of people, because of the religious stuff, slowly over time, religion is dying down. Like, organized religion is not. It doesn't sound so good to future generations as they go on. And as the world slowly, like as the internet grows, more people are getting on the internet, stuff like that. They're getting privy to all these new opinions, all these new ideas, because they're talking to so many new people from around the world. A lot of this stuff's dying out. A lot of these ideas are dying over time, slowly. But, hopefully it'll continue to do so. If Article 13's passed in Europe, then we're kind of fucked now, aren't we? But, not for long. The British people will push back against that, because it's not just going to fuck them, it's going to fuck us up here. So, No. We need to push back against that so that we can continue stripping organized religion from people, so that future generations will not be fucked up. If you want to be religious, go right ahead, but it's not healthy for your mind. You should be an independent thinker and find things out for yourself and learn for yourself, rather than reading some book and, listening to letting this book tell you how to live your life, rather than thinking for yourself on how you want to live your life. It's just unhealthy. But I think in about a couple, maybe like 100 years from now, it'll probably when I'm like 94. I'm 18 now. When I'm like 94 years old, I expect to be seeing disclosure. All these older generations, the boomers are dead, Gen X is dead, the millennials are old and dead and buried for the most part. Some of them are still straggling around. My generation, Gen Z, we're on the verge of keeling over. And Gen Alpha's like old as shit. Gen Alpha will be like in their 60s. When you get into that area, I think you fuck off. Scared the hell out of me. Mosquito hawk. But I think you'll start seeing disclosure then. But as of now, don't be expecting it. Just continue the UFO research and stuff. And I kind of feel like we'll lose something too when the mystery's gone, like when everything is disclosed and then we get to see all these new species of beings and whatnot. I think it's gonna kind of ruin a bit of the mystery too. Like there's some fun still in exploring. It'll always be fun in exploring the universe and stuff. But like there's so much fun in speculating of what these beings could be and what their purposes are. I don't think they're gonna invade us, because if they would, they would have done that by now if that's what they wanted to do. But it's fun to speculate on what they could be doing here, what they want with us, how long they've been watching us, it's just fun to speculate all this stuff. But I say 100 years from now, disclosure will probably happen. It might happen before that. If personal spacecraft become a thing, and like Mars, Elon Musk's Mars mission in the mid-2030s or late 2020s, early 2030s to mid-2030s. That happens, we might actually see some beings on Mars. Then you won't be able to cover it up. If the entire Mars colony, by 2050, I think he said he wants to have 1 million people on Mars. If a colony of 1 million people see all these fucking weird-looking beings in a convoy going across the desert, you can't, oh, well, it's been disclosed, fuck you, NASA. That's another way it could happen. I wasn't thinking about that. And also, if personal spacecraft become a thing within the next 100 years, some guy in his little Pontiac space cruiser, he's out there past the moon, floating around, and all of a sudden he sees this big ass space cruiser come flying by. He's like, ah! They're fucking firing off lasers and shit. That's another way disclosure could happen, because then he could get on his radio, and call his mom and say, "Hey, mama, we got like a UFO sighting up here. Shit's getting real up to her, you know what I'm talking about." And then Grandma Jones goes off and tells her brother Cletus, and then Cletus goes off to the city and then tells everybody there, and then the word gets out, and you see it on the internet. And there's a lot of ways disclosure could happen, but I think it'll probably happen. Either the Mars mission, with the Mars colony establishment, or later on when my generation is sort of dying off and millennials are dead and Gen X is dead. I think that's when it'll start happening. And the boomers are long gone. When all of them are gone, when all of us are gone, I think that's when you'll start seeing some level of disclosure. I hopefully will still be alive when it happens. I want to see the day when it's finally said that, yes, we've been withholding it for years. We've been withholding this for like 120 years. But here you go. Here's your alien disclosure. Here's all these pictures of sightings that we've withheld for like 100 years, going all the way back to the Apollo missions. Here's pictures of UFOs and craters on the moon. Here's a picture of the moon base we nuked in 2009, I believe it was, when NASA sent a nuke to the moon. They said, "Oh yeah, we were just testing this new nuclear bomb." Yeah, look, we were definitely just testing this bomb. No, they were actually nuking a base, I believe, from what I read. It was like this weird looking moon base, and like you can go on Google Moon to the crater that they nuked, look at some of the old pictures from before 2009, and there's this what looks like a sort of artificial structure. Could be an artificial structure there. It's fucking huge. And after 2009, it's just another crater inside of a crater. So it's like, what the fuck? You know? But it's kind of funny to think about that. Like, what if right now, the government's just so good at covering stuff up? What if right now we're in the middle of a war with aliens? You know, what if right now some of these species are in a war with us, and our government's going to war with them, and we just don't even know about it? What if we have spacecraft like the Solar Warden thing? What if we have spacecraft that guard our solar system, literally just sit on the edges of the solar system and fight off these craft trying to get in? It's like, that's why you don't really see a whole lot of sightings. Or you see a lot of sightings, but you don't see as many as you probably could. I don't know, you know, you think this universe teeming with life, you'd be seeing shit all the time, but you don't see shit all the time. You know, some days you don't hardly ever see anything. I mean, there's almost 8 billion people on planet Earth. You'd think one human out of 8 billion would see something at least every day, but, you know, not all the time. Some days you don't have anything. Maybe 3 days in a row you don't see anything, and then the sightings start rolling in again. But yeah. It's just something cool to think about, you know. I like thinking about that. And, you know, hopefully I'll live to be old enough to see disclosure, you know. That would be really neat. But, yeah. Anyway, I think I'm going to cut this one off and, see you dudes in the next one. So, yeah. See you.